Welcome to Simple Spatial Steps, a video series covering spatial software through simple steps. In this video, we will work to understand scale. Before you begin, you will need to have ArcMap installed and a map ready for print layout production. In this video, we will look at three scale types: representative fraction, statement of equivalency, and scale bar. We will define each type and provide an example. Then we will look at adding the scales to your ArcMap layout. Once we have a better understanding of scale, we will look at large scale versus small scale maps. Representative fraction is 1 unit of length on the map, representing that same unit on the ground, but with the number provided as the length on the ground. In this example, 1 inch on the map would equal 24,000 inches on the ground. This is shown on the map as 1 to 24,000. Statement of equivalency is another scale type. The same unit of length may not always be helpful to the map audience. This type of scale allows for the use of a second unit on the ground. In this example, 1 inch on the map would equal 2,000 feet on the ground. This is shown on the map as 1 inch equals 2,000 feet. The last scale type we will look at is scale bar. This is a graphic representation of distance. This is a good choice if there is a chance the map will be resized after printing. A scale bar will scale with the map, whereas the other two scale types will not. In this example, 1 mile is shown as a bar. Let's take a look at adding a scale to your ArcMap layout. Open your map document in ArcMap and switch to Layout View. For a scale bar, click the Insert menu, choose Scale Bar, adjust the settings if needed, and click OK. For a representative fraction or statement of equivalency, you will follow the same instructions, except you will choose Scale Text instead of Scale Bar. Let's take a look. Here I have a map of the South Florida Peninsula showing historical shipwrecks. I'm going to switch to Layout View by clicking View, Layout View. This brings me to my sheet of paper. As you can see, I've listed our three scale types in my layout: representative fraction, statement of equivalency, and scale bar. I'm going to insert each of these scale types so we can see how they look. Click your Insert menu and choose Scale Text. This will allow us to add a representative fraction to our map. The scale is placed on the map. I'm going to drag it by left-clicking on the scale and pulling it down to the bottom. You can see these blue squares. These are called handles. When I hover my mouse over the handles, I have a double arrow. This allows me to drag my scale text to make it larger. Here you can see my scale of my map is 1 to 2.7 million. This means 1 inch on my map will equal 2.7 million inches on the ground. This is not always helpful for your map audience. Let's try Statement of Equivalency. Again, click your Insert menu, choose Scale Text, and scroll down through the scales. You can see several choices for our second unit of measurement. I'm going to choose 1 inch equals miles and click OK. I'm going to drag my scale bar down to the bottom of the map. I'm going to make it larger by dragging my handles out. You can now see that 1 inch equals 43 miles. This to me is more helpful than 1 to 2.7 million. Now let's take a look at our last scale type, scale bar. Click your Insert menu again. This time choose Scale Bar. You can see several choices listed on the left as you scroll down. Choose a scale bar that works for you by clicking on the graphic and clicking OK. I'm going to drag my scale bar to the side. You can see I have a bar, which is my graphic representation of distance. I have a number, and I have a unit. I am going to grab my handles and make my bar shorter, and then pull it over onto my layout. My scale bar, the graphic representation, equals 40 miles on the ground. So here I have all three scale types: representative fraction, statement of equivalency, and scale bar. Inserting a scale onto your map is that easy. What if you have two maps at different scales? In that case, you're going to have a large scale map and a small scale map. The large scale map will be the map that shows more detail and less area. The small scale map will be the map that shows less detail and more area. So, based on what we've learned in this video, which of the following scales do you think would be a large scale map? 1 to 24,000 or 1 to 100,000? Let's switch back to ArcMap and take a look. Here I have two different maps in my layout view showing the same area on the ground. Both of these maps are at a scale of 1 to 24,000. I'm going to change the scale of the bottom map to be 1 to 100,000. Do you think the map is going to show a larger area with less detail or a smaller area with more detail? Let's find out. So I have changed the scale of my bottom map to be 1 to 100,000. My map is now showing more area with less detail. Which of these maps is the larger scale map? The one on the top is 1 to 24,000. It is showing less area with more detail. The one on the bottom is 1 to 100,000. It is showing more area with less detail. If you guessed 1 to 24,000, you're correct. The 1 to 24,000 map on the top showed more detail and less area. I hope you've enjoyed learning about scale. Thank you for watching Simple Spatial Steps, a video series covering spatial software through simple steps. Any questions regarding this video can be directed to StephanieReneeLong@gmail.com.